You get lost in your imperfections. You get lost in the things you want. But if you slow down for just 1 second, you might feel way better than you thought. And if you took a second to breathe, took a minute to cry, well, maybe you would see that all this time I've been right here. Baby, I know it. Life can get hard, keep going. I just wanna be the one you need right now. Baby, would you turn and look at me right now? Me right now. What's going on? You can tell me everything that's going wrong. Only say the word will disappear somehow. All we gotta do is be right here, right now. Right now. Maybe we could go and find a view if we need some entertainment. But we don't have to hurry, cause our conversation's always entertaining. And if you just want me to listen, I can do that too. Because all that I can do for you, I'll do. Oh yeah, baby, I know it. Life can get hard, keep going. I just wanna be the one you need right now. Baby, would you turn and look at me right now? Me right now. What's going on? You can tell me everything that's going wrong. Only say the word will disappear somehow. All we gotta do is be right here, right now. Right now. Baby, I know it. Life can get hard, keep going. I just wanna be the one you need right now. Baby, would you turn and look at me right now? Me right now. What's going on? You can tell me everything that's going wrong. Only say the word will disappear somehow. All we gotta do is be right here, right now. Right now.
What is up, everybody? How's it going?
Hey, good evening.
This is one of those rare nights that you're going to see me without a hat on because it is like 732 degrees in our house right now.
Literally.
Like, literally.
Like,
I checked right before the live stream.
mm-hmm.
And so, but even though we are broadcasting live from the gates of hell, it was important enough to us to make sure that we got on here. Yeah.
Hey.
High five.
Well done.
We're on a streak.
Yes.
I think that's some single-digit number in a row. So yeah, let us know when you guys jump in and you're in the comments. Let us know if the fan that's blowing is bothering you audio-wise, or if there's anything else going on. I'm looking at our camera right now, and it looks marvelous. You know, I actually changed, since we're just doing YouTube now on the live stream, I changed the resolution to be a little bit higher. So Hopefully that doesn't cause us any problems with dropped frames or anything. But if it does, let us know. And I'll see if I can fix it on the fly, which I probably can't. So,
Hey, what are you gonna do?
yeah, so yesterday was the 4th of July. How was your 4th of July?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Like it was amazing. When we lived down in the city, which is kind of a funny thing, where we lived, people would set off fireworks in the neighborhood all night long. I mean, like a week in advance, you just start hearing them, or parties randomly throughout the year. So on the 4th of July down there, we would just see fireworks everywhere, and we didn't go anywhere. We just go on our front porch. This year, it was so nice to go out down to the lake and make a full day out of spending time at the lake with the whole family, which was also Phoenix's birthday.
Yeah.
Very cool, 4th of July, and then see the fireworks as everybody else on the beach was like, ooh, ah. And it was really a wonderful time.
It was.
I loved it.
It sure was.
I hope your 4th was as amazing as you wanted it to be.
And excellent.
How was yours?
Mine was super duper. I stayed at home. I'm just kidding.
We were all together.
Yeah, no. It was great. I think my favorite part was convincing Phoenix that only half of the people that were partying in America that day were actually partying for her birthday. So,
Yeah.
only 150 million people were at her party. So we had to get a really big venue. We used the entirety of the continental United States.
Loved that.
Yeah. So that's good.
Real good.
To me, the levels here on the audio look pretty low.
Okay, let's give it a little boost.
Now Doris does say, and hello Doris, how's it going? That it looks and sounds good at my end.
Good.
So that's good.
Excuse me.
Give it just a tiny little boost there. Okay.
We've got a little boost going.
Yeah, so I wanted to...
Yeah, too much. Too much.
Too much?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about, a couple of things. One, independence, since yesterday was Independence Day, and what that actually means for us, and or means to us. I wanted to talk about our videos that we put out over the last week or so, which I think were pretty interesting.
They were. Yeah.
And then also kind of fill in some of the gaps
Ooh.
of the 5 regrets video, which I thought would be kind of interesting to do, because I didn't say the 5 biggest regrets. I just said 5 of the regrets, of which there may be 36,000.
Pretty.
But we thought, let's not overwhelm these guys with too many regrets, and we just went with a few. Plus, another thing that I noticed is, so I wanted to do a little channel update here. And so we've grown a little bit over the last little spiel. We're at 352 subscribers on YouTube.
Yay.
Yay. And I noticed something about that, is that a very large amount of the subscribers that we've recently had come and check out our stuff actually came from people who we featured in our featured creator live stream.
Yeah.
From Ozark Family Homestead, who are awesome, and we love them.
Check them out.
Yeah, they continue to shout us out, even though they're like hitting it big now, which I never expect anybody to do, but they're like, I think they're up to like 13 or 14,000 subscribers, and they just keep telling people to come on by and check us out. So I love that. And then also from a community that I was brought into by Diva in the Dirt, Maureen Washington.
Also very cool stuff.
Super cool. Lots of great gardening videos and how-tos and just data about plants, which I really, really like. And so I'm definitely going to be bringing back the featured creator segment. We've got a question from one of the children. Hold, please. There you go. And not just because it is something that helps us grow as a channel, or that I've observed helps us grow. Maybe it doesn't. I don't even know.
It's nice to give,
but it's just nice to contribute to the community, right? I have this philosophy that if you can try to contribute more to your community than your community contributes to you, which you will fail at, because your community will always give back more to you than you give to them. But if you try, if that's your attempt, is to give more than you're taking in from your community, you're going to be taken care of, and you're going to get everything that you need and want. And it's just a matter of having a purpose that's bigger than something that's for you, you know? And so we have a featured creator this week, and I'm going to go over their stuff a little bit later. Yeah, so independence, featured creator, talk a little bit about our videos. So let's talk about the video first.
The video.
Okay, so this was the 5 regrets video that I'm talking about. And what were the regrets that were in it? I talked about them, and then now they're gone.
They're gone.
They're gone from my entire world. They're
like,
no longer regrets.
It was like, let's let them go.
So first and foremost, the first regret was that I got all potato shape ogred. I gained 60 or 80 pounds while I was down there.
Whatever you say.
He's the best. But yes, that's what I did. The second one was that we ended up in more debt, even though I was making. Hey, buddy, we're on our live stream now. Thank you. The second regret was that we got into more debt down there, even though we made infinitely more money than we made when we lived on the homestead. We got into more debt down there than when we lived up here. What was the next one?
Kids.
Oh yeah, the way that the kids changed from being down in the city, and just their it's not even really a willingness thing, because if I ask them to help with something, they'll help, right? It's more like I'll be doing something or will be doing something, and they used to like run up with a shovel and go, "Hey, what can we do to help? Can we dig as well?" And now it's something that you have to really ask about, and even work out some bit of exchange.
They're into bargaining.
Yeah. So like brownies work usually, candy.
Beach days.
Yeah.
Well, lake days rather.
I tell them, when do I get to bargain for keeping a roof over your head? Huh? When do I get to make that bargain? But
going to the pool.
It doesn't work though. Yeah. So yeah, that was another one. They did some work in exchange for going to the public pool, which was kind of fun. And then so what was after that?
It was the last one, right?
No, the one right before it.
1, 2, 3. Oof. Someone want to help us out here? I don't know why it's not coming to my mind.
Yeah, I know. I'm drawing a blank on it as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last one?
I do remember the last one.
We're in the hole, telling about the kids, and then
that was the second one.
And then
the kids. I don't remember. Anyway, well, the next one, yeah. See what happens when we do these videos and we get these cathartic moments, kind of going, bubbling over. It turns out that it's therapeutic enough to just kind of erase the whole thing. So, and then the fourth one. Or the fifth one was just not having appropriate problems. And the problems that we had were these small little petty problems, most likely having having to do with making more money or doing those things, which is just not a game I'm interested in playing. It's not something that I would be up for, as a lifetime game to play. So
Boring things.
yeah, just
not
having
very
boring
rewarding.
problems that would make us smaller because we're trying to solve smaller problems. When you want to grow as a person and you have big things that you're trying to overcome, you make much bigger steps forward as a person. So
And I just want to say on that one of my regrets was just sort of this bored routine. Sort of like, wow, this is it. There's not like, it was weird timing. That was number 4. It was weird timing when we left. But,
I don't think that was number 4.
okay, maybe it wasn't number 4.
But we'll make it number 6.
There we
5B.
But, yeah, I think it was just, there wasn't really anything interesting to do that didn't cost like a couple $100 with all the kids to go and do.
Yeah.
So it was like that. It was
Yep.
like that.
It's true.
Good kid.
It's true. So anyway, so that was what the video was about, but I want to make it very clear that there were also good things that happened down there. We got back into filmmaking,
That is
for
true.
example, and really studied the craft of filmmaking and video making.
I got this cool thing.
Yeah, I got.
Fantasy.
We're able to acquire equipment that helps us to make the videos that we make now, and also helps us make the small business work that we do now, that keeps us in enough money to be able to do what we need to do here.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to just pick this up real quick because I feel this way sometimes too. Old Ways Gardening and Prepping says, sounds like bargaining with little terrorists. Sometimes it can be if they're really like on a persistent path.
It also can work toward your advantage though, if you have like brownies or you've got like, ooh, there's this fun thing we could do. I don't know when we'll do it. And they're like, let's do it tomorrow. I'm like, I don't really know. We have this stuff to get done. They're like, well, we can help.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's work something out.
You got to be able to. You have to be able to know how to work that particular thing. So yeah. Anyway, with our video, it did pretty good. A lot of people seem to like it. We also, at the same time, we thought, okay, so I see these list videos that are like 5 top 10 this and 6 of the best blah or whatever. And I always think they're kind of boring. So I was like, how can we make this a not boring video? And so we entered in kind of a non-linear storytelling aspect to it, where we were telling one story in voiceover, one story about the 5 regrets, and then one story about a project that we were doing, and we kind of tied them all together. I thought it made it really, really interesting. And what we were trying to solve was the problem of, Karen had moved in and she has an RV which has a black tank and a gray water tank, and without just driving it to town 40 miles every other week, which is just annoying because then you get it back and then you have to level it again and you have to make sure everything's set back up and you have to unpack all the stuff that you packed up so that you could drive the thing. We're like, well, what if we can get some stuff together and see if we can't put together a little DIY septic tank. So that's what the project was about. A lot of people were asking about it, like, what was it that you were actually working on? I'm from the city. I don't know what those things are. And I was like, it's a nuclear reactor. It's a helicopter. But city folk are fun to play with.
Oh, man.
I like this. Old Ways Gardening and Prepping says, mine knew nothing comes without work and was blessed with 3 wonderful little boys.
Good on you for
Yeah,
that.
that's great. You know, you have to, I don't know, it's important to have the exchange. I think too many kids are just handed things these days. And because the things that we can hand out are a little fewer and farther between than they used to be, it's nice when they do something to earn those things. You know, obviously on their birthdays they're going to get presents, and Christmas they're going to get presents and everything else. But you know, they want something extra. You do a little extra work. Uh-huh. So so yeah, should we get into the featured
Yeah.
The featured creator? So this is a thing that I just like doing. I don't actually tell the creator beforehand, which I don't know, maybe will bite me in the butt someday, but I like to do this just as a complete kind of flow of power to the people in my community, the homesteading YouTubers and creators community. And yeah, so this particular creator is someone who I've been talking a lot with recently. We're in the works with throwing some ideas back and forth on doing a team up on a little video series, which I think is going to be pretty hilarious. They're very funny. They're very knowledgeable, especially in dairy cows, dexters, goats. They have milking dairy Nubians, mini Nubians, and I watch all of their videos, so I'm learning a lot about just the milking process on both of those animals. And I've kind of decided, like, we're not ready for a cow, but we could probably have a mini Nubian that is from good milking lines and have all the milk and cheese that we really need. So that's exciting. Let me see if I can find their deal here.
Sweet.
So their channel name is Sweetbriar Farm. They have 5.59 thousand subscribers and 506 videos, and really they have everything going on from the whole homestead experience. But what really impresses me is how knowledgeable they are about the dairy side of things, and they show how much milk they're getting from all the different animals. They showed how to actually, train a dexter that has never done any dairy milking before, and like did a whole series through the whole process of getting them up on the stand and actually able to hook up to the machine and all of that jazz, and hand milk. So and there was even some like crazy kung fu, cow kicks throughout the whole series. So that was really cool. So anyway, I really enjoy their sense of humor too, and the types of things that they talk about on their channel. So so definitely check them out. Again, it's Sweetbriar Farm, which is at Sweetbriar Farm Michigan on YouTube. Oh, you know what else? There's one more thing I wanted to read here. So this is the description of their channel, and I thought this was interesting. We are the biggest little farm in central northern Michigan. We farm every square inch of our 6 acres, producers of seasonal produce, raw honey, fall pumpkins, and squash, and livestock. Our livestock includes Dexter cattle, a Jersey cow, registered dairy goats, and heritage pigs. Our livestock are clean, tested for common diseases, specializing in a heritage breed of cattle and hogs, as well as registered dairy and fainting goats, because they're just the most awesome thing ever. We are changing our Dexter cattle genetics to A2A2, which I'm hoping that they'll jump on here, because occasionally they'll pop into the lives and they'll explain to me what homozygous polled cattle is. Our new bull, Mr. President, will arrive in March of 2022. So I guess he's already there. We have registered Cooney pigs, which are the kind of pigs that we used to have. A Hereford sow, 2 Tamworth sows, a registered Berkshire boar, a registered Berkshire gilt, and an Idaho pasture gilt. Our registered dairy goats include Nubians, Nubian dwarfs, and a fainting goat who rarely faints, which, honestly, I'd be getting to work on that. I feel like you're going to need to scare more often. That's what we need out of you.
Man, I feel like I need to watch more of their videos because I literally don't know what any of those things are. Most of them.
Yeah.
Not none of the things, but yeah, there are a lot of things I'm like, I'm going to have to look that up because I don't know what that is. So good on you if you already know.
Yeah.
And check them out if you don't.
Sweetbriar Farm, yeah, I really like them. And then when we do our videos together, I think you guys will crack up because it's kind of like the old school videos the idea for it at least, is kind of like the old school videos that I used to make, way back when we were back on the homestead before, which were just fully about comedy, but there was a point to it as well. So you could laugh, but also learn something. So hopefully that comes together and everything else. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. So that's our featured creator, Sweetbriar Farm.
Fabulous. Yeah. Ooh, Storm Radios and Cats.
You have the best channel name
Good
ever.
evening.
Storms, Radios, and Cats.
Welcome.
Good evening. Yeah, we're glad you came back to hang out with us crazies. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because it is Independence Day, and I've done a lot of talking in the past about self-reliance, independence, and what the difference between those things are. And does independence mean you have to go it alone, and maybe not even alone, but even just you and your family? Like, is it important to have independence isolated away from everybody else? In my opinion, no. A lot of people will think that, actually. They go, I want to live off grid so I'm away from everybody else and never have to interact with anybody. Well, that's one way to do it. But independence is more of a philosophy than it is an actual being by yourself and not having anybody to lean on. It's just not how it works. It's not how it worked for our great grandparents when they all lived on homesteads. People would specialize in doing certain things and they'd be really, really good at those certain things. But then they would trade those certain things with other people who had the same philosophy so that they could fill in the gaps of the things that they needed. And I think people misunderstand the idea of independence, in my opinion. It's not being all by yourself without a community. It's getting so good at contributing the things that you do to your community that your community then gives you the things that you need in addition to those things. Self-reliance, is kind of the same, sort of in the same boat, I think, personally. You can rely on yourself, but I can tell you that you can get really good at doing a handful of things. And you can get mediocre at doing a lot of things. And you can be really, really bad at doing everything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's a little soundbite there. You can get really bad at doing everything. And what I mean is like, there's just not enough time in the day for your entire life, everything that you need to produce every single thing without doing some kind of trading or exchange with a community of some kind. So what's nice is that when you are independent and you do have a self-reliant philosophy and you happen to have a homestead that is not stacked on top of somebody else's townhome, you can be real choosy with when you want to have those interactions, And I don't know about you, when I go to town, like, I'm excited to see other people. And I think that other people in town are excited to see other people too, because everybody's super nice to each other. And, you know, there's not like a bunch of sitting in traffic honking at each other and throwing your arms out the window and yelling every curse word under the sun, moon, and stars. It's just,
I think that's one of the cute and fun things of living in a more small community.
mm-hmm.
Is that you have your manners in, and as opposed to in the city, it's like you've got 100 different little mini stores or gas stations or Walmarts to choose from or whatever. So if you have some like freak out at a store at somebody, just go to another one. You don't have that option in small towns without going 50 miles in the other direction.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you're gonna be respectful.
You keep your manners
to the person in front of you, and that's what I've noticed here. But when we were out at the lake yesterday, it was like there were a lot of people in from out of town, from other countries, and still everyone was so nice. They were just so happy to be there, and I loved that about it. You know?
Yeah, there were some things though that to me made it very clear that they weren't from around.
Well, sure.
You know, like
yeah,
like the one little area that you go into and out of the lake, this big group like set up their entire camp in front of it, right? So people had to kind of like walk their canoes around them and everything.
or maybe the people that had their table set in the water that were playing beer pong.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't have a problem with beer pong.
But then they left everything out
Left
there.
everything out there and like shortened the amount of space that all of the children, which there were many, not just ours, to kind of have to navigate. I thought it was a little funny that some other little kids were putting rocks in the cups like they didn't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not anyway.
Yeah.
No, it's true, but I still enjoy that aspect.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? What is your take on the whole independence thing? Like how independent do you think is the right amount of independent and self-reliant? And how much do you think that relying on a community, and I'm not saying taking only from a community, but I'm saying contributing in excess of what you receive, or at least attempting to, from a community. What's the balance there that you guys think is the right amount? I'd be really interested to hear what you guys have to say about that.
That is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, so I'm like a part of some gardening groups in the local area. We have very different weather, you know, as anyone does gardening. And when I go in, it's like I see people posting, oh, here's my garden this year, you know, a way of contribution, while I can't be like, oh, I know exactly what your problem is and I can help you because I'm not, this is my first year doing a big garden. But it's like, wow, just like, that is amazing. Your garden looks beautiful, or your flowers are stunning. Man, what kind are they? So, you know, that's my personal experience in that sort of arena of contribution, because knowledge wise, I'm able to receive. But as far as like, you know, just like giving some kudos to people that are also sharing their, you know, their hard work with others, it's like, that's super awesome. Super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
do you think?
Yeah. I like to find things that I can contribute to. Like one of the things, you know, we have 350 subscribers, so I don't have the knowledge to be like, oh, to grow a subscriber base, all you need to do is this. But there's this community that I'm a part of that is all homestead creators on YouTube. And there'll be questions that come up that are things that I do know, like camera things, editing things, like those sorts of things. When they come up as questions, I'm always trying to jump on giving the best answer that I possibly can for them. Because there are things that from other activities that we've done that I have accumulated knowledge-wise, that I think are very helpful in those areas, and that's more where I go on those sorts of things. If there's something that I can help with, I try to jump on helping with it.
Nice. That's super cool. Yeah, I've put someone will take a picture of something and be like, "What is this?" And I'll run it through my app and be like, "Oh, it says it's a blah blah blah," and take a screenshot and share that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, storms, radios, and cats. For me, totally self-reliance is my number one goal, but reality sets in and I realize to a certain point we have to call on outside sources. I am just tired of paying rent to a loser landlord. LOL. Yeah, I totally understand. And that was kind of my thing too. When we were out here before, I wanted to be like completely self-sufficient, and every single thing that we ever had or needed or wanted, I could produce. And then I'm like, okay, so where on the property am I going to come up with a place to quarry, iron ore so that I can make my own steel? And where am I gonna, do this and do that and the other thing? And I enjoy a lobster from time to time. Where am I gonna put in a saltwater, and it's just the realities of things is there are people who are better at doing certain things than other people. And if you can create a well-rounded community that has all these different skills, man, that's nice, especially if you're tight-knit or close, Old ways gardening and prepping, just praying for a 100-acre homestead in BFE. And that's near the pyramids, right? Like outside of the pyramids, BFE.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. We're like 40 minutes away from town. So it's close enough that if we need to go to town, we can go to town. But it's far enough away that if we don't want somebody to just stop by from town, they're not going to just stop by.
Or if you're like, "Oh, I forgot the blah blah blah," you're not just going to be like, "Oh, I'll take the 15 minutes to run out." You're like, "That's like another hour and a half because you forgot the blah." It's like, well, I don't need it.
Yeah.
I'll just wait till I'm ready to go back out.
Yeah. That's going to go on next week's trip to town.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Outside of Giza. Yep. Yep. Too hot for me there. So you want a cool BFE. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's. I don't know about y'all, but it's 184,000 degrees here. I'm pretty sure we moved about 1 million miles closer to the sun this trip around because it is freaking hot.
We're lobbying as a family to go to the beach, or not the beach, but the lake tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I got work to do.
I know.
You guys can go to the lake.
I don't. Conversation for later.
Want to see us work through one of these things live?
I mean, do you?
No, you don't want to see a grown man cry. Not on a live stream. Not over not getting his way. You don't want to see that. Dora says, I don't know, but for me, it is getting a group that each of us do what we love to do and share with each other so everyone has what they need. Yeah, that's awesome. That is a great way.
That is awesome. Yeah, it's been really hard actually. I think moving back out here where everybody that I knew, it's like, I mean, I don't know, it was a very, what's the word? Acquaintance sort of thing. I didn't have, I don't know. I'm still getting to know people out here. Let's just leave it at that. But
I make friends everywhere I go. It's because of this face. They're like, I'm not threatened by you. Let's hang out.
Is that when we go to Walmart?
Yeah.
Or our monthly trip to Walmart? Bi-weekly?
Yeah. Make tight, close connections that are long lasting when we're in the
When we're
when
going to
we're
shop.
in the line at wherever we happen to be shopping.
Funny.
Old ways gardening and prepping. As for tool building, it's not hard to do flint knapping. That is
Cool.
true, and we have a lot of the materials necessary for that around here. But I don't know if you know this or not about me, but I was a pretty good blacksmith when we were out here, and so I made a bunch of tools, and I just really like working with iron. Plus, it's a lot tougher than obsidian or any of those types of materials. So I likes me some steel.
Noise.
Yeah.
Noise.
And on that, I do want to get back into it. It's more of a winter thing for us here because it's such a high fire area. But so when it starts to cool off again, I'll probably start putting everything together. Pretty much all of my blacksmithing tools got stolen while we were down in the city. So all my hammers, I have like maybe one ball peen hammer left, and a mini sledge, a little 3-pound sledge. So with those two tools, I will rebuild the forge.
Nice.
Storms, radios, and cats. I am 20 minutes from town, not far enough out of town. Yeah, you see, you need at least another 10 to 12, maybe even 20 minutes out, and that's perfect.
That's funny.
There are times a Sprinter van made into a camper looks really good to me. Oh yeah,
Sprinter vans are awesome.
they are awesome.
Yeah.
My old boss retrofitted a Sprinter van and actually built out the whole inside really, really nice with everything he needed: batteries, solar, water heater, water pumps, all that jazz.
Nice.
Bed, had like a lot of tiny home principles were put to work for it. It was great.
Yeah. That's cool. Gardening Warrior Q.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, thank you so much for doing that. I like to. I figure we'll get some good old chat going. Last week was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun having everybody in the chat and carrying on side conversations and everything. It had been a while since we'd experienced that, but thank you for coming by.
Oh,
Howdy ho.
yeah.
The diva is in the 7 Kin house.
Woo, welcome.
Good to see you. Yeah, we were just talking a little earlier about how you introduced us to this community that we're involved in now, and how most of our growth was actually coming from that group, and also the other community that we're a part of and the contributions to it, but then specifically the people who we had featured in our featured creators little segment that we do on the live stream, which was you and Ozark Family Homestead. And so yeah, if you haven't checked out Maureen's channel, go check it out.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? I mean,
Plus, we're gonna do some searching around. And find some of your music stuff too. We were talking about it at the lake yesterday, because our kids are like into this jazz big band sort of music right now, which is hilarious to me.
It makes me feel so good. That's my favorite. That was my favorite music.
Yeah, it's so fun. I remember going to brunches with my grandparents every weekend. We'd go to this one particular restaurant that had a full big band, like 25-piece big band. Would you call it an orchestra? I guess it's an orchestra. Yeah, it's a big band orchestra. So, you're going to have to share some of your music with us. And also from the people in the global gardening and homesteading community, I want you to know I've been looking through song choices for the karaoke competition. And I'm gonna bring the heat. We're gonna bring it this year. So I hope I find out about it or the rules and that it hasn't all been, you know, like, oh yeah, we did that last weekend.
Oh, that guy?
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I just love that stuff.
Yeah. Super fun.
Here comes my peeps.
Whee!
Absolutely.
Whee!
Yeah, just going through. I'm gonna try and stay ahead of the chat as much as I
Oh,
can.
we've gotten far behind.
Are we far behind
It
already?
looked like it, yeah.
Nah.
Side chats.
Yeah, look at all the side chats.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Hello,
nice to have you here
hello.
too, man.
Hello.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yep. Love it.
Now, Old Ways Gardening and Prepping, I think last week you were saying you were you had like a flu or something and you've been doing a lot of tea and that's been helping. That's awesome.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah, it's wonderful that we've all joined together to strengthen this community. I think so too, because there's so much collective knowledge out there on the subjects of independence and self-sustaining. You know, like one thing I haven't really gotten into yet on the channel, which I really want to start doing a whole series on, is I'm certified by basically, not certifiable, but certified by basically all major manufacturers of solar to work on their products. So when we get down to a point where we want to start really tackling the off-grid solar questions, like that's something I know I'm going to be a resource for. But I know there's a lot of questions out there, so I want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row before I start opening the floodgates.
Very cool.
Yes, it is an amazing community. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about what's been going on. We've been doing videos. We've been
4th of July.
4th of Julying,
Yeah.
which was nice. We America'd the heck out of it yesterday.
I went to the lake.
Yeah.
Celebrated our middle daughter's birthday. She turned 9
Yeah.
on the 4th of July.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lovely day.
Spent some time convincing her that only half of the people in the United States were celebrating her birthday that day.
Our chicks, our new chicks that we had shared with you guys a couple weeks back are
They're
roaming.
escape artists.
They're escape artists, and they're roaming in with the chickens in their yard and in their coop. And surprisingly, all of the hens are like, okay.
Yeah.
That's neat. That's a fun thing just to see these little guys running around in the little chicken's yard and up in their coop.
Yeah.
I love that.
That is super fun.
Finding
Multi-generational chickens.
those are so cute.
Yeah.
Finding cool ways to keep the chickens cool. It's like in the hundreds right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
You froze a big block of.
Yeah, so a friend of mine sent me this video of different ideas to keep chickens cool. And one was to put water inside of a big, like, gallon Ziploc baggie. And the thing is I know my chickens like to peck things. And I'm not concerned necessarily that they'll eat the plastic, but I know that they'd peck it and tear it to shreds. Then I'd have plastic bits all over. So instead, I froze water mixed with their feed and then put it in a terracotta dish for them, and they loved it. So it was frozen, but a little bit of mush still on the inside, and they just went to town. So they had a cool treat.
Yeah.
And I've done that with some other leftover type things with some liquids, and they've loved it.
Yeah. It's like a grain popsicle. It's the good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Old Ways Gardening and Prepping stomach bug, and yes, posted a video on how to make it. Awesome. I'm going to check that out because I've actually been having some weird stomach things going on that I need to do something about, and I'm not sure not sure what to do exactly. And tea sounds like a good place to start. Storms, radios, and cats. Yep, I am building my solar slowly but surely. Yeah, if you ever have any questions about anything or you run into an impasse, I've probably run into that impasse and at least know where to find the answer to it. So let me know. Oh, cool. Hello, I'm doing okay. Just working on some new ideas for the community and trying to see who will want to play along. Oh yeah, you were talking to somebody else, but I was interested in that because I like activities. Activities are great. Yeah, you guys do a really good job of keeping like stuff to do in the group, which is fun. And Old Ways Gardening and Prepping's tea does wonders, so I'm super excited about looking for that video. Hey, Homestead Aquarius, how's it going, man?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just came in from chorin'. Got to do your chorin'. Got to take care of the chorin'. Willow and Sage Farms, hello. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Welcome to our little live stream here.
Hello.
So yeah, so what else has been going on? What else have we been doing?
Well,
We put in the DIY IBC tote
thingamabob.
IBC tote septic tank for your mom.
I didn't think you could say that.
Why not?
I thought we couldn't. I don't know. Yep, we did
Let
that.
them come.
It's almost done, and then we had 4th of July yesterday. So, and then today we were like, beat.
Yeah, and it being like over 100 degrees, I'm like, nah.
And like, let's put our feet up and relax today.
Yeah.
Hang out with you guys. Yeah, I've been trying to get some good playtime in with the children's. It was my birthday on Sunday. We had a nice time.
Yeah, it was a nice time.
It was a nice time.
You got a garden hat.
Did get a garden hat. It's amazing. And I got this pretty necklace and these bracelets.
Yeah. One's got the seven different colored stones on it.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because see, I like wearing jewelry, but it has to be rugged because I do work. I hate picking jewelry out for myself. You did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
We also went to a place and painted some ceramics with the family. Which was super fun.
Oh, that was the coolest, actually.
Yeah.
When are those things going to be done?
I should call them.
Yeah.
I figured it'd probably be a little bit longer because of the 4th of July weekend and, you know, give them a little time, but I should probably call them. I should probably call them tomorrow.
Yeah. So there's this place in town called Bella Artworks. And basically Bella Artworks is like a little restaurant, ice cream parlor, or like old school soda pop stand, you know, type of a place. But they also, that's half of it, and then the other half is like ceramics that you can buy these little unfinished ceramic things and then paint on them and do all this other stuff. So what did you get? What did you make?
I painted a ladybug that was about this big.
Something for the garden.
Something for the garden.
Yeah.
And I guess the other one will be a surprise because I can't remember. It was something random. I mean, it was a little elephant head.
Nice. Very cool.
Yep, everybody
did it what they wanted.
Up to my mom, it was so cool.
Yeah, one of the twins made an egg, which
both of them ended up doing.
They both ended up doing eggs.
Yeah.
So they'll maybe those will be the things that we put in the the roost to try and get the.
That'd be funny. Maybe, but they need to do their fire.
Yeah,
what do
they
you call
put it in a kiln and they
kiln,
fire it. And
So it comes
everything.
out shiny and
Yeah, and
well, you
finished.
know.
So I found a coffee mug. You know, I'm big on coffee, but it's like this big. And yes, it was originally intended to be Santa Claus, but it's just from like the crook of the nose here down. So it's this like big old beard. So I painted it to be similar to my beard, and then put like a blue beanie on it, and painted the skin up as close to the matching color to my skin as I could.
It's gonna be epic.
It's gonna
I
be pretty
really
epic.
think it is.
I'll drink coffee from it, and you won't even be able to tell that I'm doing something. I'm not there anymore.
Uh-huh. You know, I really wish I could see everybody's faces.
Yeah, it'd be cool if it was like a Zoom call sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really can't wait to show that off. Maybe we should have it by next week, I expect.
Yeah.
We'll show you.
Maureen's doing the awesome job of reminding everybody to click the like button.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
It really
baby.
does help, actually. Oh, okay. Audio Wave was my other YouTube account. Funny, I saw your videos 5 years ago and rediscovered you when you came back this year. Nice to see you guys again.
Wow.
Hey, that's awesome. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
There's only a few people that have that are still around that have seen the old school stuff. Some of it makes me go like this, you know, face palm. But some of it I was like really proud of. Yeah. Some of it I was really proud of.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you finding us.
Yeah,
It's really
that's
cool.
awesome.
Oh,
And happy belated birthday.
thank
Yep,
you.
Carrie's birthday was it Tuesday? Monday. Sunday. Yeah, there you go.
It was the second.
Time is an abstract concept on the homestead. I'm sure you guys all
was
know.
some other day that wasn't today.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
No, not a shocker bracelet.
Well,
One stone to represent each of us
Oh, it is.
in our seven kin, you know, their little.
And I like how it's like, I don't know if you can see it, it's just kind of this marble color. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
I made it myself.
Awesome. Yep. In this, I should show you this too
Oh, how
while you're
cool.
finding other stuff out. But you also got me this one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it says you got this.
I can't. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you got this.
Yeah, so exactly. So we painted it, and then they actually do the final glaze. It you know, it just comes out of a mold, so it's completely unfinished, unfired. And there is a glaze, excuse me, a glaze paint that we paint everything out with, the colors and all that stuff. And then they do the final dip and then fire it. And then here's something cool. My mom's in the chat, and she's reminding us that that I grew up in a ceramic shop, so I'm sure it will be perfect. Yeah, there was actually some flashing on it, Mom, that I couldn't handle. So I fashioned a knife to bring down the flashing on it.
That's funny.
Yeah, because I don't know, when we would do the porcelain miniatures, you know, that was like the thing that couldn't be allowed to happen, was having little bits of flashing on it.
What? I don't know what that means.
Where the mold comes together, there's like a little piece of the slip that will make its way out. So there's like a little seam that goes around
the
it.
seam. Okay.
And so I removed the whole seam that went around it, because I was like, nah, I'm not going to have that.
Did you have to file it, or
I used the back end of the paintbrush.
But I mean, when you were a kid, was it like wet or clay still, like for you to take it off, or would you file it?
There was actually two different ways that you would do it. If you got it when it came smooth.
That's cool. Yeah. That's super cool. And welcome, Susan.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Or talk to you. Or interact with you via the interwebs.
Have you seen
Boy, another one with a coffee keg. Heck yeah, man. When I wake up in the morning, I have a half-gallon French press that I make coffee with. It's this big, and I make coffee out of it.
Look, is this big too?
Yeah, it's massive.
I can't wait to show.
Hey, Mike, how's it going, man? Good to see you. It's 2 weeks in a row. That's like a streak. It reminds me of a Ray Stevens song. Anybody in the chat know the song that I'm talking about? Oh, yes, they call him the streak.
That's awesome. Nice. Mm-mm. Yeah, we're just double checking on where things are,
Yeah.
where we're at. Yeah, we're a little behind. We're catching up here.
My mom, Susan Rutland, says, cool, long as it wasn't a porcelain doll.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Little figurines, though. I will totally show them next week.
Yeah.
I'm sure if they're done and we picked them up. Yeah. I honestly can't wait to see Vegas's and his little egg because he put like every color on it.
Yeah.
And then as it dries, it's so pale. So you those colors are going to come out once they're fired. So I cannot wait to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. It's a surprise, like the birthday's still going.
Willow and Sage Farms, terrifying. Those dolls scare me. Let me tell you, we had. What would you say, Mom? Like how many of those porcelain dolls? I know at one point, just in our house, we probably had like 40 or 50 of them. But they were perfect. Like the ones that my mom and my grandmother would make they looked like tiny little humans. They made one of me, a porcelain doll of me. Yeah, I don't know, Mom, do you still have it? Of me when I was doing martial arts, and they made a little gi with the yellow belt that I got at the time, and it had its own little stand and everything else. It was like a little miniature me. It was gnarly. But yeah, I think she just said we had hundreds of them, and they were all awesome. Every different style you could think of. You guys had the original molds for the Precious Moments too, and like those were just amazing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Awesome.
Yep, Mike be streaking right now. It's good. Fastest thing on 2 feet. He's just as proud as he could be of his anatomy. I guess you call him unique. Yeah, that is some Coraline stuff right there.
That was a weird movie.
That was a super weird movie.
Yeah.
Yep, the Karate Kid. It broke, but I kept the outfit.
I never heard that, by the way. So
a new thing that surprised you.
A new thing that surprised me. I did
karaoke competitions.
Yeah, and you had a porcelain figurine made of you.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. It had like the porcelain blonde hair too. The whole thing was really cool.
Did they paint it or did
they made it?
But I mean, it's still porcelain, and then it's painted, or is it all dyed and then?
Well, it's more like doing china than it is painting. But yeah, painting. The mixture of color of the slip of porcelain would give you the base color, and then you can do different finishes to it. And
you said it had blonde hair like you, so
yeah, that blonde.
It.
Yeah, that part of it was because that one didn't have a wig on it. I don't think, did it, Mom? It was actually.
Well, that's really cool. I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually, I mean, honestly, it all happened before they were like a big thing, but this is when I was just a little kid. But yeah, they've become what were they called, Mom? Johnny Teardrop before they were Precious Moments or something like that. I don't remember.
Mm. Well,
Some of you guys, other people's children. Oh, it was a boil cut wig, just like you had, or bowl cut. Yeah, yeah. Did have a crazy bowl cut.
that's the one where it would be like, bull hair, for example, and then you just shave it here so it was
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, and then it
That
would
was,
like
of course,
mushroom out.
way in style, and I love
I don't
that
think it was.
haircut.
I don't think it was.
I loved that haircut when I was a kid. I mean, I couldn't have it, but any boy that did, I was like, I like that hair. Mhm. I'm sure I would have adored it.
Okay, I don't know if this is unsolicited or not, but my mom, I guess. No, wait, that's not the one. Maybe somebody asked her if she had any skeletons, but she's now saying, "Just ask. I know him well. I got all the skeletons." Yeah. Or maybe she's talking about somebody else. You know, things live on the internet forever, right, Mom? Gardening Warrior Q. I used to work in a store that sold Precious Moments. Those molds were worth quite a bit back in the day. Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We could look at it. Yeah.
Next chat, she'll add pics. LOL. Oh, of me with my bowl cut. That must be what she's talking about.
Oh, I'd love to see those. Never seen those.
You've never seen them? You never seen those pictures? I think I've posted them on Facebook. I guess you don't follow my Facebook page.
Where would you have gotten those?
From her?
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I haven't seen them.
Yep. You guys and your side conversation. I love it. It's kind of funny. It half the time I want to just be reading the comments and like following along with it, eating popcorn, but I don't think that would make good content. Oh, do you still have the mold somewhere in a box? Is that for the Precious Moment or for the Karate Kid? Anyhow, well, I wanted to kind of show you guys our featured creator one more time, just to remind you guys to go check out their channel, check out their videos. They're extremely knowledgeable in dairy cows and dairy goats. Let me show this to you one more time. Sweetbriar Farm. They are amazing, and we're going to be doing a little team up on a video here pretty soon for your viewing pleasures. And check them out. And just so everybody that came in after we talked about this last time, I do a thing on the live streams usually where I'll just pick a creator that I've been watching their videos recently. I try to keep them relatively small creators, like myself, and just kind of see if we can't cross pollinate some of the people that watch our videos and send some folks over to check them out. So I've just noticed that most of the growth that we've had in the last 2 months since we started posting videos routinely has come from trying to contribute more to our community than what we take from our community. So that's kind of the philosophy that we have around here. And that's why we do the thing. We don't ask people if we can. We don't tell them beforehand that we're going to show off their page. We just find somebody that we like watching, and we show other people about it. So that way you guys know what's happening there when I do that. Lila,
Hey.
hey, you're coming in right at the tag end of what we're doing here. But I invite you to go back. It was a pretty good one. Hope you had a good 4th, and those beavers aren't blocking up your water flow anymore.
Oh, yes.
And I hear dynamite is very useful. Oh, this is something I'm finding out right now. My mom is saying she has both of those molds. I thought we got rid of them a long time ago. We're gonna have to talk. High five. Yeah, moms always have the blackmail stashed up. You know, you ought to be able to find out the best dirt from the person that you always wanted to cry on the shoulder of. You know. Did we miss anything? I don't think we did. So I would love to hear from you guys in the chat or just in the comments after the video about what are some things that you'd like to hear about the life that we're living out here, completely off grid, like 100% off grid, other than our Starlink internet connection. We're kind of restarting the homestead back up, essentially from scratch because of the factors that you guys have become aware of, I think. We got the large family thing. We're doing what we're going to be focusing on videos wise over the next probably month or so is just really documenting what life is like now, so that as things improve in certain areas with food production, power generation, the living situation, all of that kind of stuff, that we can actually show a real timeline of how things improved. And so what would be some of the things that you guys would be interested in hearing about on that line, you know? And it's kind of a brainstorming thing. There are no bad ideas, you know, except for a couple that I've had about videos. Some of those ideas that I've had were actually bad ideas, but like the zombie one back in the day.
I loved that idea.
I thought it was great too.
It's pretty funny.
I think
you know what though? Here's
the 11 people that saw it, I think maybe one of them thought it was a great idea too.
you know, it may not have executed it super great, but the idea we've now seen implemented in other arenas that are huge blockbusters.
Well, I know those people got the idea from our Bonham, you know, grass-fed human zombie. I know it happened. You know, whatever.
It's
you know,
funny.
you can't live in the past.
It's funny. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good.
Old Ways Gardening and Prepping says that they have enjoyed themselves this evening. I'm so glad. We like to have a little fun here, a little conversation, and occasionally you know, you may be provoked to think about something differently than you may have before. Not saying that happened to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta tell you something, because this was hilarious.
This was hilarious that this happened, actually.
Yeah, so yesterday we're at the lake for the 4th of July, and Jason sees our now 9-year-old, because yesterday was her birthday, full on has a fish about this big in her hands that she has caught barehanded.
Yeah.
Just like
she just reached down and grabbed it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we're going to be fine. You know, she can just catch it with her bare hands.
If we're ever starving, we're just going to let Phoenix go to the lake and give her the, you know, hey, here's a pointy stick, you know, do what you can. let's get some dinner going.
Yeah, and you know, in the fall there's going to be so many blackberries there and all kinds of other things I looked up that are edible.
Yeah. Yeah, what were some of them? Winter berries or something like that?
Yeah, there were other various things. I have them in my app, so I don't remember what they were, but really, lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of berry things we
Lots
can
of berry
eat.
things. All right, Mike says all of it. Yeah, we're trying to kind of put things into like subjects. You know, like we did the food shopping one. We're working on one right now that is a subject that I don't think I've seen anybody from a large family channel or homesteading channel do, and that one will probably be out on Saturday. Um, and it's kind of along the same lines, but a totally different subject. So we want to get all of the different like almost minutia of what life is like now, but I'm implementing kind of a storytelling. Um, I'm using a storytelling device to make it not minutia, right? And it's
Because otherwise, I think you'd be bored to tears
Yeah.
within 2 seconds. You're like, oh, that's what that's about. Next.
Yeah. But I think with the way we're doing things now, we should we've got some really good feedback on the storytelling aspect of these last few videos. So yeah, okay, we'll try and get all of it. I think that's kind of what the idea is. And hey, I just want to just tell the whole chat, I have hazel eyes, and 2 of my children have hazel eyes. So you know, there's something good about the hazel eyes. Very rare, and it's actually the best color eyes for visibility while welding, because you can wear the lowest shade welding shade mask and still have not have doing damage to your eyes. So like people with blue eyes, they have to wear 13 shades. I can wear a 10 shade and it never bothers me, never once. So
Good on you. And yeah, pretty awesome.
Oh, that's a good question. Homestead Aquarius. Does anybody in the family have a job on the homestead, or are y'all thinking of such things? When you say a job on the homestead, do you mean like it's their responsibility to do a certain thing, or that they have a job that they go to? I'm gonna go with that. It's like a certain responsibility. Most of the responsibilities get shared with
Yeah,
things,
like
but
the older 2 take the trash out, and it just kind of depends on who did it last time, or if there's, a full trash and then some things scattered around that I fill up or they do.
yeah, Phoenix
second-
takes more care of the chickens than the other kids do.
Yeah, and Seattle does a lot of the water stuff for me. She'll fill the jugs. She's sort of my go-to on that.
Yeah.
And then
I've been wanting to put together like an actual board of like, okay, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, these are your jobs. And Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, these are your jobs. And Sunday, you do whatever you want. But because I have trouble working off of a board like that, I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and things are, I feel like we're still getting settled in. We've got power under control. We've got like the chickens, they're home. We've got the garden. We've got the water. Finally. So it's really been the first like week or 2 that we didn't have to go out and get water like 2 days a week, which is 2 to 3 days out of the week, which is, essentially a full day, because I'd let the kids play at the lake that if you saw the video, you know what I mean? But there was a lake next to it and make a little day out of it. So that was fully those days taken up.
yeah.
Now
And
that's
she'd
not the
bring
case.
the dishes with her and
And
they'd all do the dishes and all of that stuff.
Yeah, so I feel like we're still figuring things out as far as our like routine.
Yep.
But the kids are really helpful in those sorts of ways. So
Yeah.
and with the garden, some of the kids, Seattle likes to help me with the garden.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice too.
Yeah.
Old Boys Gardening and Prepping says, get her a fish gig and she will be happy. Yeah, let me tell you, She just
pond
all day. Oh yeah,
full of fish.
we're gonna do a whole aquaponics
She would have a
setup.
ball.
Yeah,
She's like, look, I caught another one.
yeah.
She would love that.
Willie Crow says, if your karaoke is as good as your fishing skills, I have no worries. Well, with my mother in the chat, I'm gonna just say, my karaoke skills are significantly better than my fishing skills. One of those is more important for survival in a post-apocalyptic world, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's karaoke. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've done any karaoke, but if I'm being totally honest, I've been referred to as the songbird of my generation. So, I mean, it's no big deal.
You do have a lovely voice. Maybe we should go practice.
Yeah. Is that with your AC running or my AC running? Because I don't have AC, but I do have a fan going because it's like 184,000 degrees in here. I actually have I have a program running that's supposed to knock out all of the background noise, but I don't know if it's actually working or not. It looks like it is. Yeah.
It does.
Steven, the dirt loves the idea of the whole documenting everything idea. Yeah, I think it's a really good one, and it'll be really nice to be able to go year over year. This was what life was like then. This is what life is like now, and be able to show how things improved or how they got worse. You know, some things I'm not going to say that everything is going to get better all the time. Because who knows?
You don't think that would be boring though? I mean, it would be. I mean, I guess we'd edit it so it's not
I
so
could
boring.
make it not boring, and then having a story being told throughout the entire thing too. I could make it not boring.
That is true.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic.
Come here.
And plus, we were talking about earlier how you want to come say hi.
Come here.
Come say hi to everybody.
And then you.
We were talking how like our grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren are going to be able to see these videos. You know, heck, by then they might be able to have them beamed straight into their brains. So that's how that goes.
You want to wave? Say hi.
Wave. This is Jackson. You got anything to say? Any words of wisdom? You don't want to say words of wisdom? You want to keep those to yourself? Okay. I gotcha.
And yeah, you can totally go in the pool. Wherever your swim trunks are. That's where they are.
Yep, chores is yeah, like chores. Yeah, so I think we kind of covered how that all is getting going now. But that might actually be a good subject for a video. To put into this whole kind of anthology idea that we're doing, is the kind of development of how chores were assigned. Yep, chores is a must. Got to do some choring.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Oh yeah. So my mom here, we grew up with chores by age and height, worked great, and gave us all a chance to learn to run a household. 7 kids. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll tell you what, our family line is nothing if not prolific. My brother has, I think they're working on their 8th kid right now.
Wow.
And then, I don't even know how many kids Ethan has. 4, I think. So, and then you came from a family of 7 kids. No,
My mom.
my mom.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what she was just saying. 7 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very true.
Oh, interesting. So if you're looking for recommendations for your channel, why not share what goes on around the homestead as you are doing your homestead thing? but within reason. This ain't Facebook,
That's funny.
yeah, we can. We're definitely going to be doing a lot of that, like as much of that as we can. Oh, we're getting a thunderstorm. That's random.
Yeah, we just heard big thunderclaps.
Wow, it's 900
Love
degrees
it.
here. I bet we'll get some.
I'm gonna open that door.
Yeah, please do.
I thought it was supposed to rain today at some point, but you never know.
So, so then you're the person I need to stand by, so no one else hears me sing. If for no other reason than I'm loud, yes.
Aw. Hello to Jackson.
Hellos to Jackson. Hello, Jackson. Hello,
Aw.
Jackson. We'll let him know. Yeah, that might be what it is. It may actually be. It's interesting. We're playing kind of havoc with setting up the audio for the live stream. It's very strange, and it seems to change every week. So
It's weird because you've got your input, you got your audio, and then you've got your device it goes into, and it's going in the computer, and then there's software that changes it. And I can't hear what that software is outputting before it's being sent up to you guys. So I can monitor it from like the secondary source where it's going into, and it shows me it's fine on the levels. So it's a fun
who knows?
game.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're tech nerds and you want to have everything set up exactly the way you want it to, but you also live on an off-grid homestead on a mountain in the middle of freaking nowhere.
And frankly, that shouldn't change the fact of where I can hear the output of from our program.
Yes, this is true, but it does. But it does make it more difficult.
Doesn't. I mean, you're the guy that runs the power, but really, you did it.
It's true.
You did it. Now I still don't.
Yeah. Well, we are approaching the 1 hour and a half mark, so I think we're going to get on out of here. But it's been a blast, like it always is. Remember to check out Sweetbriar Farms, and that is at Sweetbriar Farm, Michigan is their URL for YouTube. Check them out. Be sure to like this on the way out if you did in fact like it, or dislike it if you didn't like it, because it all works the same way with the algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, because that is a nice little validation kick for us that we're doing a good job. And the best thing that you can do for a creator, no matter how big they are, is, if you want to support them, is to watch a video all the way to the end and then watch another one. And if you could do that, that'd be amazing. We love you guys, and we will talk to you next week. Keep an eye out on Saturday for this next little mysterious video that we've been talking about. And thank you guys so much for hanging out in our live stream. Bye-bye.
Bye.